Amadi and the Book of Destiny.
The sound of distant thunder rumbles. A restless wind rustles the trees. A dimly lit hut, a man searching. Amadi's hands tremble as he lifts the dusty wooden box. His father's old belongings, forgotten, buried beneath time. He is searching for answers. Something is wrong with him, he knows it. A force, unseen, holds him back. And then, he finds it. An old, leather-bound book. Its title? The Book of Destiny. He does not understand, not yet. But the moment he opens it, his fate is sealed. The Book of Destiny sat heavy in Amadi's hands. Its pages, old and weathered, had once belonged to his father, a man who died believing in the words written inside. Amadi had never paid much attention to it. But now, after years of suffering, after season upon season of failed harvests while others in the village thrived, he needed answers. What is wrong with me? He flipped through the pages, his heart pounding. Then he found it. He read these words out loud. Amadi, you will live in penury and hardship until the age of 70. Only then will you rise and find success. Amadi's hands trembled. His breath came in sharp gasps. No, this can't be right. But the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. Hadn't his life been nothing but failure? Hadn't he lost everything? His wife, tired of endless suffering, had left, taking their children with her. The land he worked so hard to cultivate had turned against him. The book was right. Anger surged through him. At nightfall he stormed out of his hut and into the forest of destiny, where legend said a person could confront their fate. He didn't know what he was looking for. He only knew that he refused to accept this. The wind howls. Amadi walks alone, the book in his hands. A whisper calls to him, leading him to the forest. Then, he met the guardian of the forest. An old man, draped in flowing robes, stood before him. His eyes were deep, knowing. He took the book from Amadi, peered into it and handed Amadi the book of his destiny and spoke in a voice that seemed to echo through time. A voice, ancient and unyielding, speaks. Guard this book with your life, or you will perish. Amadi's heart pounds. His fingers tighten around the book. But as he opens its pages, his world collapses. He was expecting to see something different. But no. His fate is written. A life of suffering. A lifetime of failure. No breakthrough until 70. 70. The words mock him. His breath quickens. His blood boils. He will not accept this. He refuses. But destiny does not let go so easily. Amadi stared at the book in his hands. He could feel the weight of his future pressing down on him. No. He hurled the book away and turned to leave. But when he returned to his hut, the book was there. Waiting. Watching. He tried to ignore it, but each time he opened it, the words mocked him. Quit fighting your destiny. Accept your fate, and you will be free. Not everyone is meant to be great. There must always be the poor among men. You will struggle until 70. Embrace it. At first, he fought against it. He tried again, planting new crops, believing things would change. They didn't. Another failed harvest. More whispers from the villagers. The villagers call him cursed. They laugh as his crops wither while theirs flourish. They sneer as his wife packs her things and leaves, taking his children with her. Alone. Forgotten. Defeated. Each night, he opens the book. Each night, it whispers. Quit fighting. Accept your fate. Some men are born to struggle. Not everyone is meant to be great. Slowly, the words seep into his mind. He begins to believe. Then came the final blow. The village elders called him forward. You bring misfortune upon us all, they declared. Leave before your curse spreads. Amadi laughed bitterly. And where do you expect me to go? That is your problem. They answered. The verdict is clear. Leave. Take your cursed land with you. Amadi begs. He tries to sell his land. No one will touch it. He was forced out, shunned like a disease. Even his land was worthless. No one dared buy the land of a cursed man. With nothing left, he walked away from the only home he had ever known. As he walked, His thoughts warred within him. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should stop fighting. What if the book is true? No. I refuse to suffer until 70. His mind was a battlefield, a war between surrender and defiance. On a lonely road, Amadi's footsteps drag. A fire burns in his chest. Rage, despair, surrender. Then, he sees him. An old man. Eyes like fire. A voice like thunder. "You look like a man who has lost to himself," the old man observed. "Why do you carry that book like a shackle?" Amadi hesitates. Isn't this his destiny? The old man smiles. Then why fight it? The question shatters something inside him. Amadi wanted to ignore him, but something about the man's presence made him stop. So he told his story. About the book. About his failures. About how fate had chained him. The old man listened carefully, then smiled. "Who told you the Book of Destiny is absolute?" he asked. "What if it only has power because you believe in it?" Amadi frowned. "But it says what you allow it to say." The old man's voice was firm. "Your mind is your greatest tool. If you believe you are doomed, you will be. If you believe you can change, you will." The words hit like lightning. Could it be true? Could his suffering have been a self-fulfilling prophecy all along? For the first time, Amadi questioned everything. And that night, as he sat by his fire, staring at the cursed book of his destiny, he made a decision. He would burn it. He lifted the book, his hand steady, and threw it into the flames. The fire roared. Sparks flew. Then, nothing. The book sat in the fire, untouched. Whole. A shiver ran down his spine. The book flipped open on its own. The words stared back at him, darker than ever. "You cannot escape your destiny." Fear gripped him. His hands curled into fists. "No," he whispered. "I reject this fate." The book did not burn, but something inside him did. A fire. A rebellion. A certainty that he would create his own destiny. The final break. Days turn to weeks. Amadi battles his mind. The whispers of the book grow weaker. His own voice grows stronger. Every morning, Amadi spoke new truths into existence. "I am not bound by fate. My land is fertile. I will succeed. I am not bound by this book. I create my own destiny. My past does not define me." The words felt strange at first, like a man forcing himself to believe a lie. But slowly, something shifted. He no longer walked like a defeated man. He no longer feared failure. And then, one night, as the stars shone brightly above him, he saw the Book of Destiny resting beside his fire. The same book that had refused to burn. Amadi picked it up, feeling its weight one last time. "You have no power over me anymore." With a steady hand, he threw it into the fire once more. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, flames roared to life, consuming the book in an instant. The pages curled, blackened, and turned to ash. The words that once tormented him vanished forever. A deep, overwhelming sense of freedom washed over him. Amadi took a slow breath. This was it. The final break. He was no longer a man waiting for 70. He was a man creating his own destiny. And with that, he rose at dawn, gathered his tools, and set out to reclaim his land. Now, there's no lingering fear. His old beliefs are truly dead, and he returns fully free. Amadi returned to his land. The villagers sneered, laughing. The madman has come back. But he didn't care. This time, he did things differently. He studied new farming techniques. He observed the land, adjusted his methods, and planted smarter. He stopped feeding himself doubt. Every morning, he reprogrammed his mind. My land is fertile. I am capable. I will succeed. His first harvest was small, but it grew. Season after season, his farm flourished. The land once called cursed became the most abundant in the region. At 40, Amadi was no longer the outcast. He was a leader, a master of his own fate. The Book of Destiny never changed. Amadi did. And in doing so, he proved the greatest truth of all. Destiny is not written. It is created. What Amadi's story teaches us. Amadi's life was shaped by what he believed about himself. For years, he accepted the idea that he was cursed, that he was destined for failure. And as long as he believed it, his reality matched his mindset. But the moment he challenged his beliefs, the moment he reprogrammed his mind, his life began to change. This is the lesson. Your mind is the first battlefield. If you believe you are doomed, your actions will follow that belief. What you accept as truth shapes your destiny. If you tell yourself you can't, you won't. If you tell yourself you will, you will. You are not bound by fate. No matter what has been said about you, no matter what your past looks like, you have the power to change your future. Your breakthrough won't come from waiting, it will come from action. Amadi only succeeded when he stopped waiting for 70 and started fighting for today. So, what about you? What beliefs have been holding you back? What words have chained you? It's time to break free. Like Amadi, you don't have to wait for destiny to change. You create your own destiny.
If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button and share. And do subscribe to this channel for more interesting video on inner dialogue.
Master your inner conversation. Choose the right voice.